Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk. If you enjoy our content, please consider donating and following our socials. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is doing what feels right actually harming paganism?
I believe so. I really do.
Why?
Well, first of all, we're going to have to start somewhere, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to start with, we're going to have to separate magic from religion.
Okay.
Spell casting, doing what feels good, all right?
Mm.
If you want to cast a healing spell, and for some reason, red that you associate with blood, which you associate with life,
Mm-hmm.
gives you a feeling that this is the best way for you to go, do it. And if you do put it out there and someone goes, well, you really shouldn't use red, blah, blah, blah. Again, it's your own personal thing. It's what gets you there.
Okay.
When we take this concept into religion, though, it causes problems. Because there's a difference between the two practices. Magic is a personal, private thing.
Mm-hmm.
Most witches I know really don't do group spells that much. Because when we're in ritual, we're there to celebrate the gods and not cast spells per se.
Right.
That's why I'm trying to separate them. If whatever it takes for you to get that feeling to cast that spell, use it. To get everybody else's correspondence and stuff, all that's irrelevant for spell casting.
Right.
The problem is when you bring this concept over to religions and morals and ethics. Do what feels good. Because here we have a problem, because I've talked before, we believe in nature. We believe nature is the truth of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
That this is where we get our morals and our ethics from. If we look at this, nature tells us that everything's going to take the path of least resistance.
Right.
Water takes the path of least resistance. Electricity does. Humans do this. Why work harder, work smarter? All right. I don't have any problems with these concepts. But for things to work, for things to grow, there has to be resistance. For us to get electronics to work inside your technology and stuff, we have these things called resistors. We put them in there and it controls the flow. It forces that flow of energy to go away it don't want to necessarily go.
Right.
But we can't. So humans, we got to do differently. All right. To grow, to learn, we have to challenge ourselves. We've talked about this before, that when you're learning and stuff like that, you should be uncomfortable. You should be a little emotional. Why? Because you're learning something new. You're struggling with something.
Right.
Here's the point. The problem with doing what feels good is the following problem. What happens when you look at a serial killer and go, yeah, do what feels good. That's the law. That's our moral. That's our ethic. You should always just do what feels good.
Yeah.
Because what feels good to what feels good to a serial killer? Killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. I want to sit here and go, okay, what is that? Somebody will pop up and go, well, that's a little bit of an extreme, right?
Well, it is, but it's a very good example, especially when you're talking about morals and ethics and religion and.
Well, but then you also get to the smaller crimes. Oh, so it feels good to molest kids. It feels good to rape women.
Right.
We're not drawing a line there because, again, this does not work in society.
Mm-mm.
As soon as we say, do whatever in the world you want, ethics and morals go out the window. It's the laziest way of doing stuff.
Right. And I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but lazy spirituality doesn't work.
Well, again, it puts pagan community in this position to where we don't look like we know what we're doing. We don't really have any ethics because we have no ground point where we all agree.
Yeah, we lose credibility for sure.
As soon as you, oh no, do what you feel good. Well, that starts to lose credibility when you actually start to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like the harm none.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to actually think about it, it becomes impossible. But yet we'll still take the lazy way out.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a big problem.
Everything about this thought, to me, goes against all pagan philosophy that we preach? Does it? What do you think?
Well, I think part of it comes from the whole thing of, we'll call it comfort, right? You get
Right.
comfortable in the easy way. And when you step outside of that, it does create that uneasiness. It creates tension. It creates, for lack of a better word, it may create some trauma. But again, that's what makes us stronger. That's what helps us learn.
Well, I mean, I realized part of this came from the whole entire thing of people trying to resist the whole dogma of certain religions.
Oh, sure, yeah.
All right. And the rules and stuff because it didn't fit to them. All right. But that doesn't mean we don't have morals and ethics, that we shouldn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because here's the problem: doing what feels good is assuming that we all have the same morals. Okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of difficult.
To some extent, but it doesn't really work. All right.
No.
Because again, here's your problem. Here's your problem, because you can have a kid raised in a house with an alcoholic. One kid could grow up to be an alcoholic while another one completely won't touch it at all.
Right.
This is a moral stance, because morals are personal.
Yes.
And I don't know too many people's morals who line up 100% with each other.
No, and there are times when your morals don't even line up with your religious beliefs.
No. So again, we have this problem here. All right. So, but this is where ethics come in. This is where we say, okay, as a group, we believe it is all right that you should keep your word. If you sit there and swear an oath and say you're going to tell the truth, you should do that. If we find you're not, we're going to not look at you the same. We're either going to put you in jail or punish you somehow because it's unbecoming to our ethics and morals as a group. So how do we do that when do whatever feels good?
Yeah, you can't.
What morals and ethics do you actually have? Where are you going to do? What are you going to tell that serial killer who's sitting there arguing? Yes, it is good to kill people.
Right.
How are you going to argue that?
Well, let me ask you this. Aside from meditation, because we know meditation creates some discomfort, but produces a lot of growth. What else? What other spiritual practices require discomfort but produce growth?
I don't know. Listening to people you don't agree with. I'm sorry. I sit here all day watching videos and listening to other stuff of people who don't agree with paganism.
True.
Believe it or not, I think I learned more about paganism that way than I actually do from the pagan books.
All right. So debate. Yeah, we can put that into a spiritual practice as well.
I'm sorry. Me and Lord Men would debate all the time, and I think I learned more during that time.
Very true.
And trust me, anybody listen to me and him, trust me and him did not always agree with stuff. All right. But there's learning. Yes, we should do this respectful. We shouldn't be emotional and stuff like this. And we need to talk to each other.
Right.
But I'm sorry, going around and telling everybody, do what feels good.
Yeah.
All right. And trying to sit there and tell people, okay, those who say don't do this is gatekeeping. We're not gatekeeping. We have morals. We have ethics. We need to behave as a group. We got to get along. There are certain things I believe in personally. I try my best not to take into the temple.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all do that. Well, we all should do that.
You know, like when I'm teaching and stuff like this and stuff comes up and I know there's modern day stuff in the news that sort of matches up with what I'm teaching, I'm not going to use that in class.
No.
Because that's politics. That brings something else in here.
Right.
Because I don't hate these people.
You
with me?
Yeah.
I just wish they would actually finish their thought.
Well, let me ask you, what are some of the things that we're seeing in pagan communities that are due to this lazy spirituality?
I'll put it to you this way. I've sat here and listened to a few pagans talk, and when I'm sitting here listening to people criticize, okay, this person over here has set up their studio to look all mystical and spiritual to put you in the mood when you're watching their videos, while the same person sits there and argue, well, we're being authentic. We're just sitting here in our living room and not doing anything. Don't realize they're doing the exact same thing.
Okay.
All right. There's a laziness thought. All right. The fact is, they are both trying to project a certain image to people. Yes, they're doing it from two separate ends of the coin there, but they're still doing the exact same thing. We're not going to look at that behavior in ourselves, but yeah, we're going to call out other people and try to claim that we're better because we don't do it when we are.
Yeah.
By mentioning it, why even mention it? I mean, that's sort of the reason why I don't really like us doing video, because I think people are going to be more concentrated on what's in our background or this or that or how clean or how dirty. You need to be listening to what we're saying. All these people that do these aesthetics and stuff like that, this is that simple, this is doing what feels good.
Okay.
And my question is that these people are doing this, what are they actually giving you? What are their actual ethics? How are you going to do what feels good when you're dealing with people who think doing bad things feels good? I mean, I realize I'm technically putting a damn nuclear bomb on the pagan community, calling them out, because this is one of our biggest things you hear all the time. And I'm telling the pagan community, we need to stop.
Well, yeah.
This really does lead us down to a place to where it's insanity. It don't make no sense. It is pure and utter chaos for chaos' sake. And it will hurt people in the long run.
Well, I think what it boils down to is it creates like spiritual narcissism. But it's being disguised as being authentic.
Right.
Just like you were talking about with the people, with all the witchy backgrounds and whatever else. They're pulling it out, or they're trying to disguise it as being authentic, but it's ooh, look what I've got.
Yes.
Look at me.
Look at how kind I am. Y'all just do whatever feels good. We're going to justify this and stuff like that. Not sitting there thinking, okay, you're sitting there telling that witch that don't know where too much of anything, sitting there looking at people going, no, your daughter or your child does not need to go to therapy. No, we just need to do an exorcism instead.
Right.
No, you don't need to take them to a doctor. No, or anything. No.
Or here, there's a spell for that.
Because again, we're going to do what feels good.
Mm-hmm.
What strokes my ego. That's all this is.
Well, and I think
it's not about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that creates another problem, because back to the credibility issue, it's going to be seen as a weakness.
Yes.
Because it's not going to show any cohesiveness or any coherency, in anything that's worthwhile. And people who don't agree with us are going to use that against us. They're going to exploit that weakness.
I'm going to demonstrate how this thought works. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Show me one coven that's been open who thinks this way for longer than a year, that are actually doing stuff. This brings us back to that whole entire. This is where we get that pagan standard time. Do what feels good. We might not even do full moon because I'm not in the mood.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, there are plenty of groups that are still functioning.
I mean, but there's my question. Are they? I mean, I hear them claim this, but where is it? I don't hear them talking about this. I don't hear these pagans out. Hey, I went to full moon last night and this is what in the world happened. And I had this wonderful experience and I wanted to share. I don't ever hear that. Oh, I went to my temple's local Sabbath ritual and here's what we did. I don't ever hear those conversations. I'll hear all about spells and who's got who's aesthetic and who's more original than who.
Well, yeah, that's for sure.
But when was the last time you actually talked about an actual spiritual connection you actually had?
You mean with somebody outside of our group?
Well, when have you ever heard it actually as a conversation on a podcast. No, in our group, yeah, we talk about ritual all the time.
I mean, I can't say that I've heard it on a podcast, but then again, most of the ones that I've listened to, I stopped listening after a while because it just seems like there's nothing worth listening to.
Yep. No, because again, every time they try to tell you something, they have to fall back to do what makes you feel good. Humans behave a certain way because we're human. We have to interact.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, if you take a human and put them in isolation, they will go insane. We have to be around other people. To be around other people, we sort of have to have some ethical way of working around each other without harming each other. And doing what feels good does not lead us down that path.
So what's the alternative without becoming like a massive dogma, rigid dogma religion?
Be quite honest with you. What I said at the beginning, all right? Here's the problem. This thought in magic works great. In magic.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it stays. Y'all just stop. Here's the line. When y'all start talking about religious beliefs, you can't always do what feels good. If we're doing what feels good, everybody has paid in and done all this to show up to a Sabbath, and the high priest says, I'm not in the mood. Go home. Bye. I'm doing what feels good.
I guess my question, aside from the alternative to becoming like, dogma, my question is, we're always telling people, I can't tell you how to walk your path.
Right.
So where do we draw that line?
I can't tell you what to believe in. I can sit here and greatly tell you, hey, ethically and morally, this is how in the world I see the pagan societies working in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? For as long as Babylon and these other and Rome were around, they followed the same principles we do now. Keep your word.
Mm-hmm.
Accept responsibility for your actions. Try to maintain balance. At no point in any of this concept do you hear do what feels good. You swore that oath. You should uphold that oath to your dying breath. Yes, my belief is as soon as you get on that witness stand and you take that oath, I don't care if you got your hand on a Bible or whatever, you took the oath. You said you were going to tell the truth.
Right.
You should do that. For pagans, that should not even be a question. All right. I would be hard pressed for a member of my temple to come to me and actually flat out ask me to lie. I won't do it.
Right.
Not on a stand after swearing an oath. Won't do it.
No.
I will tell the truth.
All right. So basically we change the nature, well, not the nature of paganism, but we change the way we do things by basically instilling keep your word, honor your elders, yes. And so that no matter what path you're walking, whether it be Norse or voodoo or whatever else, these are the things we adhere to.
Right. Is why, and this is why I use these three basic ones: the keep your word, accept responsibility for your actions, and try to maintain balance.
Right.
They're a little bit more universal and easier to deal with across traditions.
Right.
And I could be wrong. So again, if we got anybody that actually practices voodoo, please tell me. I think people in voodoo would agree with us too. Yes, you should keep your word. Yeah. You should accept responsibility. I think they would agree with us, even outside of what we do. Even though the traditions are completely, I think they would. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Well, I mean, we could be completely off our rockers on this one too. You never know.
Well, I'm sure we're going to get blasted out of the water on this one.
Maybe. Who knows?
Because there is something where we are slamming one of the core beliefs of a lot of the mainstream Wiccan pagan movement that's out there.
Well, and look, this is the thing. We're not telling anybody you can't practice whatever way feels quote unquote natural for you. What we are saying is that you need to adhere to certain things
because we need society to work.
Right. We need a cohesiveness. We need something that holds us together.
Right. Because right now, doing the whole field thing separates us more than it brings us together. I'm not talking about dogma. All right. I'm not talking about us going around going, if you don't do this, the goddess is going to come. This is not what I'm talking about. Again, when you find people sitting there lying in the community, take away your trust from them.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. There's no dogma, no nothing. Either A, they're going to learn their lesson and start telling the truth, or nobody's going to listen to them anymore.
Right.
This is not complicated to me.
Are there any other problems that this could address and possibly fix?
I'm sure it will fix a lot of problems because, again, this concept right here would fix the whole self-initiation thing, as far as I'm concerned. Because, again, it starts to show you're doing what feels good. You're more about stroking your personal ego than doing the work. When you can sit there and claim your whatever because it feels good,
right,
with actually nothing there, that makes us all just, that takes all our credibility and chunks it out the damn door.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest problem is credibility at this point.
Right, because again, here you have a problem. I can go out there and find 50 videos of Christians going around videotaping pagans and how in the world we don't sound consistent about any of our beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and getting confused about it by the minute. And then sitting there going, look, see, how in the because again, there's my question. How would you start a tribe? If the world stopped tomorrow, how would your beliefs actually start an actual tribe, a community? How would it actually bring people together and to get them to work together?
Right.
So we all can survive and move on. I mean, seriously, if the world fell apart tomorrow, take a moment. My belief system, what I believe, I think would pull people together. I've seen it do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this rips us apart more than anything else.
Well, then, maybe it's time more people re-examine that part of their practice.
I really wish people would.
You know,
I'd like to see this conversation on more people, but hey. So yes, I think the more traditional community needs to come out and going, no, we're done with this. Do as you feel good.
right.
It don't actually work. It's not really part of our pagan practices. It's you being lazy and self-centered and feeding your ego more than it is anything else. And I hope I've proven that by now.
Well, we can only hope, right?
Yep. So you about ready for some coffee?
I'm ready for some coffee. Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another episode. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary. Please visit us at lifetempleseminary.org for more information, as well as links to our social media: Facebook, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning